G'day legends, I hope that you're doing well. Now today we're going to talk about the worsening situation in Bakhmut. I've seen some other channels comment saying there's no situation change or frontline movements, and there definitely are, and the potential withdrawal. Now we're also going to look at some soldiers who have crossed into Russian territory and Russia's apparent destroyed AWACS aircraft. But first, a word from our sponsor. Legends, today's video is sponsored by Atlas VPN. I travel a lot for work and for pleasure, and I connect to a lot of different networks. And doing this, I make sure I always use a VPN to secure my time online. Well, today we can do that for less with this offer because Atlas VPN is offering you guys $1.83 per month plus 3 months extra with a 30-day money-back guarantee. It'll protect all your privacy online and carries many benefits for using a VPN at this ridiculous low price. You can take this deal by clicking the link in the video description below, but be quick as it is a limited time offer. Atlas VPN allows me to connect to other networks all across the world. So I'm able to watch things on, say, Netflix that are not available in my country. If I'm traveling and I want to watch a show at home with my partner that's not available in the country I'm in, I can also connect and watch it with her. On this channel, I try and keep things as unbiased as possible. And with Atlas VPN, you can search the web with real organic search results, and it'll do it without tracking any of your activity. This is more than just a VPN. It blocks all the malicious links, the ads, the trackers, and notifies you if someone is trying to steal your data. With one single subscription, it'll protect all your devices, as the device limit for this is unlimited. I recommend you this deal for Atlas VPN. For just $1.83 a month, 3 months extra, and 30-day money-back guarantee, it'll protect your privacy and get the many benefits of Atlas VPN for this ridiculous low price. You can take this deal through the link in the video description or the comment, but be quick as it is a limited time offer. Now, we'll move on to the maps. Now, the Ukrainian military said on March the 2nd that its troops have the option to withdraw from Bakhmut, but the decision will only be made if it is absolutely necessary. Now, the Eastern Operational Command spokesman has said, as long as the command sees that it is making sense to keep a certain settlement, it will be fought for. Well, I would say the situation, which we'll look at in a sec, is critical and to the point of getting cut off and isolated, if not over the past few weeks. Now, Donetsk Oblast Governor Pavlo Thankyou said that around 5,000 people, among them 37 children, still remain in Bakhmut. According to him, most of the remaining residents refuse to leave their homes. Now, what isn't said here is there's a lot of people in the far east of Ukraine who are pro-Russian, and also people that do not have the means to leave. And some people there are waiting for Russia. Like it or not, that is the truth. That is the situation. That there are people on both sides, civilians. But despite ongoing heavy battles in Bakhmut, law enforcement officers are reported to still be carrying out evacuations. My opinion is this should have been done weeks or months ago, as we all knew the city would either fall or would be the site of intense fighting. At no point was it going to just move along. Now, let's have a look at the map. So, of course, here we have Ukraine, Romania, Poland, Belarus, Russia. The lighter red is from occupied Russian territory since February the 24th, 2022, and the purple since 2014. And if we zoom here on Bakhmut, this is where we'll see some changes in the past 24 to 48 hours. So the last time I spoke to you was the 1st, I believe, 1st of March, today's the 3rd, and on the 2nd we didn't see much or any movement. And then on the 3rd today, we have seen some movement on the south, the north, and on the east of Berkivka. So if we have a look again, that's where it jumps up to. And they've made it past this reservoir that we've talked about a lot, and further claimed territory right up to the waterway, moving through the front and further closing this position on the east. People always ask me about the weather, with now the mud limiting vehicle movement. So let's have a look at the weather. So Friday is a top of 5, at night -1, but it is warming up. So we're going to see 7, -1, 3, -3. You can have a look anywhere. And we'll also go to those on the American side. We'll go into Fahrenheit, so 41, 31, 45, 31. So it is warming up, causing the snow and the ground to melt and causing a lot of mud. Now, what does this mean? Well, speaking on my most recent podcast, there's a lot of vehicles and people still in Bakhmut. Now, I have heard numbers from 2,000 to 20,000 Ukrainians still in this region. You can't get a good number on how many that is of soldiers, but there is also a lot of vehicles in here. We know these main roads are compromised, so the movement will be on back roads or off-road, and the weather situation in the mud is in a bad way. So the question is going to be how much armoured vehicles or vehicles get left here if they choose to move rearwards on foot, and what sort of isolation cutoff may the Russians have. Is this going to turn into a full encirclement or enough of encirclement, there is no way out, and turn into sort of a Mariupol situation. Claim control right up over this road and, assess control right to this other MSR, which was the last main supply route out. And squeezing in, making a withdrawal from here very difficult, especially if you're taking wounded personnel, any sort of vehicle on off-road or back roads here. As you can see, there is not that much, and the way of fire control could be completely cut off. So in the next 24, 48 hours, we may see a huge change on that front line. Now, let's just compare the Wagner Group map, at least, showing axis of advances. And as you can see, they're saying that their advance is bloody everywhere. Now, on the Rybar too, they are showing that these axis of advances are trying to close these gaps. So the situation is absolutely critical. It has been for a while, and I'm not sure what we'll see the next couple of days, but I think we'll see at least an attempted withdrawal, and how that looks, I don't know. Now, from yesterday today to the northeast of Kremenna, we did see Ukraine take some ground as well as Russia take some ground. So if you look at this arrow advance here, you can just see above that to the north, Ukraine has taken some ground here. This is in the farmland sort of foresty region here. But just to the north of this, we did see Russia make some advance as well. So Ukraine took some ground, and then Russia took some to the east near Makhivka. And that'll be the end of our mapping for today, with no real other territorial gains or losses being seen. Now, yesterday, the governor of Russia's Bryansk region, Alexander Bogomaz, posted on his Telegram that a group of Ukrainian saboteurs had crossed the border and entered the village of Lyboshany. Now, this situation is confusing as hell, as with all the volunteer groups working in Ukraine and within Russia that have their own autonomy and a lot with their own ideology, and some even claim to be humanitarian aid when they're directly violating the protected status as humanitarians. However, this war ends, these heavily armed, trained and experienced groups and troops are going to be a huge issue for both sides. Now, I will likely get some details wrong here, as people are quickly dismissing this as a false flag event, and as I said, it is confusing. But what I gather are these guys are pro-Ukraine, pro-Russian, but anti-Putin. So they're Russians trying to encourage more Russians to support Ukraine to fight Putin, really calling to start a mutiny. Now, they released this video, which has been geolocated to here.
Мы, бойцы русского добровольческого корпуса, записываем это видео из Брянской области. Мы пришли сюда не как ДРГ, а как освободительная армия на свою родную землю. В отличие от путинской армии, палачей и насильников, мы не воюем с мирными гражданами. Мы пришли сюда, чтобы вас освобождать. Призываем вас, возьмите оружие и боритесь с путинским, кремлевским кровавым режимом. Слава РДК, смерть кремлевскому тирану.
The governor of Bryansk further claimed that the group fired at a moving car, killing one and wounding a child, adding that the armed forces of the Russian Federation are taking all necessary measures to eliminate the sabotage group. Russia's FSB security service claimed that it has now launched an operation to destroy armed Ukrainian nationalists who violated the state border. Putin has also called this a terror attack. Now, under an hour after these reports, the pro-Ukrainian Russian Volunteer Corps, led by far-right figure Denis Kapustin, posted his telegram confirming that its forces are in Bryansk. Now, Ukraine has denied any involvement with Mikhailo Podolyak, an advisor to Zelensky, calling the claim a provocation, claiming that Russia wants to scare its people to justify the attack on another country and the growing poverty after the year of the war, adding the partisan movement in Russia is getting stronger and more aggressive. Andriy Yusov, who is the Ukrainian Defense Ministry's main intelligence directorate spokesman, says there are people who, with weapons in their hands, are fighting against Putin's regime and those who support him. Maybe Russians are starting to wake up, realize something, and take some concrete measures. Now, some people are claiming, how could people get across the border? Now, the front line is huge, and not every square inch can be covered. Now, there's also claims the bloke on the right has been interviewed previously by CNN. A few hours later, after the incident, Russian state media outlet TASS reported that Ukrainian saboteurs who earlier penetrated into the border region of Bryansk region do not show any signs of activity. They could leave Russian territory, eyewitnesses of the region told us. So there is no confirmation of any shooting or the people wounded or killed. Now, also, there's been a video released of the reportedly destroyed Russian AWACS aircraft flying out of Belarus back to Russia for repair. Director General of the IAEA, which is the International Atomic Energy Agency, Rafael Grossi, reported that on March 2, the rotation of the agency's team of experts stationed at Russian-occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. He writes in a post with the staff of the video crossing the front line, "I'm incredibly proud of the professionalism of our staff. Very thankful to the UN for their support, and the IAEA will not stop." Now, the ISAMZ team reported the precautious nuclear safety security situation has highlighted again that the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, only remaining 330 kilovolt backup power line, was disconnected for a third time in less than a week, likely because of shelling on the other side of the Dnieper River. Now, they also have updates on their website, the IAEA.org. They give almost daily updates on what is going on there if you're interested. These nuclear power plants have become a point of concern since the beginning of the war, with both sides pointing fingers to using them for tactical advantage. Russia shelling and occupying the plant and putting arms within the plant, and also reports of Ukraine conducting strikes against the plant. Either way, this is a very dangerous situation. Now, that's all I've got for you today. Please look after yourself. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.